So we join back in with our adventurers after a tense last part. Dante taking control of his body back from Tenebrese to see his friend fall, trying to get some sort of healing to him, though Volu seemed to be trapped in some sort of dream-like state, seeing visions and memories that almost seemed locked or altered. As we join now, Volu has once again opened their eyes as Dante is trying to make his way towards Ichi away from the ensuing dog and Arthur. So Volu, it is your turn. It's top of the round. Like you are, well, not top of the round, but like top of your turn essentially. Your eyes open. Your head is splitting, almost like it's been hit with an anvil. And as you think that, you remember. You can remember your home and your family again.
My head, in that splitting form, looks up and sees Eleni, but I don't quite recognize that it's Eleni to begin with. I see this person above me thinking about the visions that I've seen, and I'm like, Tanabori, what are you doing here?
It's Eleni, Volu. You've been injured.
And then as you say that, it clicks. What has been happening? Who struck him down? I was holding a potion in my hand that probably has slipped just a little bit, so I'll kind of clamber towards the potion and give it to Eleni and say, you need to take care of Dante. I'll hand a potion of advantage to Emma.
Oh. Potion of advantage?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Remove it from mine.
It's gone out here. This is why I say just straight up. I love Volu.
Don't mess about.
It's trained well. Anything else? It costs 15 feet if you wish to stand up. Half movement if you just want to crawl around, if you're just trying to move to a wall or something. But you do have your action and your bonus as well. You can hear the barking of the dog, but most of the footsteps now are at quite a distance.
I'll stand up and move. And as I stand up, I'll put my hand on Eleni and give her guidance.
Thank you.
And then I'll move 10 feet backwards towards what's her name? Ash.
Okay, as you move towards Ash, they will hand you a potion. A basic potion of healing.
Okay.
Are you okay, my friend? Your wounds you are burned quite badly.
I knew what I was getting into, but it seems like this time he just won't stop. Thank you for healing me.
We hadn't got to you yet.
Oh.
And with that, I'll flick on to Arthur, who is going to attempt again.
What's up, dude?
He's trying to close that distance. As Arthur seeing Ichi, no, he's not going to say anything. Ash is going to. Where did Ash just talking about?
It's behind.
Ash is going to continue moving to the corner and just sort of say, it looks like Ichi and Sir Arthur are closing in on him. That is all they can do as we get to Ichi.
$30, $50, $70, $80. Yeah, no words, just focus.
Okay. Eleni?
Eleni's going to move 30 to take her literally just around this corner. She's going to bonus action down the potion of advantage because she's got it in her hand. And then she's going to shoot at Dante with her longbow.
So it's a straight shot then.
Why?
Yes, because it's in
Because
disadvantage range.
You're within your max
Because
range.
don't forget
not-
they are 20-foot squares.
So how much? Sorry, how far?
So
You're definitely in range. You're just in.
yeah, I'm about. I think I
200.
counted
200 feet.
220.
20, 40,
Yeah.
60, 80, 1.
Hey, Mum, when you do the measure, it tells you the number of squares underneath the feet.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's like 11 squares, so it's 220.
220 feet.
Yeah.
And your
Okay.
range
So,
is
so your advantage. So it makes
That's
it a flat
fine.
roll.
I'll take it, flat roll.
how long is that potion
Yeah.
for? Turn or
It's a turn. It's the next action. So that's a 17 to hit.
Dante sees it coming in a swift.
Okay. And then fire again. And this is disadvantage then, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
You don't forget you had my guidance.
Guidance doesn't do anything
That's
on
not on an
the
attack. That's on
Yeah.
a.
That's bless you're thinking
Bless.
of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
The
yeah.
second is only a 15.
Okay, so again, an arrow whizzes over your shoulder, Dante.
It's me now. It's not him.
She's just gonna go, yeah, right. You'll go.
The dog.
Shit. Someone at the door. Sorry, 2 moments.
Someone is at the front door.
That's a weird sounding bell.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry guys, I've had to get some food in because I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving.
It's
No,
alright.
that's
And I got back a lot later than I planned.
Don't worry.
So,
Is it my turn now?
it is your turn. And can you... Well, depends what you're going to do. But if you're going to move, roll me a d6.
1.
Okay. Okay, no worries. That's fine.
Yeah, Dante's just going to continue to run towards Ichi. And just simply go, just be like, honestly, it's me. Please, I'm not doing it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I am. Dante is like, I'm just going to say, whether or not you believe this guy, that's fine, but he is like crying and clearly rattled to fuck.
Move yourself forwards. I'll do that. So you're basically within 15 feet of Ichi now.
And I want a bonus action, take a potion. Because I took 2 potions from what's his face.
Yeah. Volu.
I will. Ooh.
Do you want to cover Dante?
Yeah.
He didn't turn off.
No, it's okay. I just I need to put the picture on. Done.
I'll bonus action take the potion.
Yeah, okay, so 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Where is my d4? It's annoying having it in a tub because they just sink to the bottom of the d4s.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. 5 points.
Okay. Any
just dithering about what to do. I will then. So how far away is Eleni to me?
About
45? About
Okay,
35?
so I'll move.
Yeah,
About 35.
Okay, so I'll move my 25 feet to be 10 feet within. What is it? Control to do the mini.
it's alt to drag it halfway.
Yeah. And then I am then within range for I'll cast Bless and give it to Ash and Eleni.
Thank you.
You can't give it to yourself, can you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I'll give it the third one. I'll give it to myself.
Perfect. Okie dokie. Arthur. Right. What is his?
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay, he's also good. He does slow and doesn't close that last 20 feet. He sort of looks over to Ichi and nods, but you can see that they're almost like, if he comes this way, it's ready. But he's... And again, for Ichi, as you sort of glance at Arthur for the first time since sort of splitting off from him, he's way more injured. And the black is much larger and almost pulsing around his neck and throat. We get to Ash. Ash will look at Eleni and say, I'm worried about Sarta. He will push himself into death if necessary.
Then we need to get down there and help him.
He's going to put down the backpack that he's been carrying with all the stuff. Not that it makes him any faster, just that it makes sense. He doesn't super need all of that stuff now. He's run out of most of his potions. And he'll start heading down. Ichi, top of the round. You can see Dante in between you and Sarta.
Ichi will step that 10 feet up, reach behind him, like kind of throw his longsword down to the ground, reach behind him, pull out the manacles, and I will use my action to manacle Dante with the restraints around the hips so that they don't have any movement of their hands.
Let him. Dante's
And
absolutely weeping into you.
Ichi holds you like close, kind of like with you, goes to knees, and then with the rest of their body over the top of you. So if Sir Arthur tries to hit Dante at all, Ichi is the meat shield. Then looks up at Sir Arthur. We can stand down.
There's almost a wave of relief over Dante as he absolutely breaks down into tears and just, so sorry, so sorry, so sorry, sorry, so sorry.
No words, just hands like cradling your head.
He's absolutely shaking. Quivering like a leaf, one might say.
Okay, Eleni. So, Eleni, up ahead, you would see Ichi approach. It's hard to tell exactly what happened, but it almost looked like Ichi like grabbed him, and then you almost see them almost like sinking and close into a more embraced, shielded position than attacking.
I'm pissed.
Because you miss me.
No, because I'd like to kill you and Ichi's in the way. I'm gonna double move. So 20, 40, 60 alongside Ash.
As you're flying, definitely not in any sense of like it's not dropping you, but you can almost see the light and energy beginning to fade. Some of the furthest reaches of where your wings are they're not like disintegrating, but they're breaking down into the individual moths again.
The further away I get from them.
Yeah, and almost like as you like they like break down and fall to your body and almost go to rest, you get that feeling of like they're using up a lot of they're running out of the energy they absorbed.
I would probably come down lower to the ground anyway, and so that as I'm flying, it almost just turns into a run. So I'm like hitting the ground gently.
Okay. The dog. You just because the corridors are 20 foot wide, so even though the dog is behind Arthur, you can see that dog you summoned is just like blitzing towards you.
I'm Ichi's very aware.
It so wants the opportunity. It's waited so long.
Please, please.
He's a good dog.
Dante, can I assume that you're almost breaking out of the initiative and just
Dante, at this point, he's broken in every sense of the word. Is it? And yeah, if all intents and purposes, helpless.
Okay. After which, Volu.
Move, action, move.
Okay, as you begin running, take a little look at WhatsApp. I have pinged you something.
On which
WhatsApp.
medium? Okay.
Okay, after Volu to Arta. There is an almost visible shudder from, like through the air, as the energy that ripples off Saata, and you can. The sword isn't like raising or moving, but it's almost turning and twitching, as you can see he's like tensing his grip and readjusting his hands and tensing his grip. The eyes never leaving Ichi's.
Can Dante say something at this point? If he notices. It's up to you if you say if he notices or not.
No, I'd say at this point it's almost one of those slow moments for the people that have eyes locked, but it's not actually lasting as long as they drop their sword, and again, as you've seen this whole time, the rope catches it at his waist. But for Ichi, it was almost a drop in, like if I don't get this out of my hands now, they like threw it away from themselves almost before it caught itself and hung to their side, before they just turn and begin marching the other way. Ash will keep coming down. I say, Sahasa, are you well? Do you need healing? And they're sort of moving up to them. Ichi.
Ichi barks, ironically, at the dog and just shouts, "Heal!"
It skids to a halt.
Oh wow.
And check, I don't know if they're just out, if it's just out now, or if it lasts a time.
I think it's
Have
just
a little
out.
look at the overview. So
I don't know.
Ichi might
You
have
has a pet dog.
I got a pet dog.
Can I pet that dog?
I say how Dante wants to have a pet dog.
You did want one, but you know.
Yeah.
Maybe not one that wants to eat you.
But yeah, so sorry, Ichi. Obviously, I don't think it takes any action for you to.
No, they follow verbal commands, so
Mhm.
Ichi will then, even though they can hear and see Dante in this position right now, they do still know that they have to prioritize safety, so they are going to manacle ankles as well.
Okay.
And then is going to position themselves fully back turned away from the other lot, because Ichi saw an arrow go flying past them. And Ichi has got shield ready. If any arrow hits, Ichi is going to be using their reaction to do their interception to reduce the damage by 1d10.
Okay.
Just funnily, by the way, I'm saying I'm letting all this happen. I'm absolutely fine with that. I still have mirror image up.
Yeah, but as long as you're not trying to resist, because the thing is, your images are obviously images. The thing is on the point of hit, you switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's sort of what your rolling it is when you're rolling higher than a 6 or rolling at whatever. You're like switching places with the images almost.
Yeah.
So as long as you're not trying to resist, he can still find your still form. Although yes, there are still 3 two ghostly Dantes, sort of.
Two. One of them was used.
Well, there's this so there was three, so there's two
Yeah.
two left.
Yeah.
So
Ichi kind of like leans.
sorry,
Ichi kind of leans to Dante. Just breathe. Calm yourself.
I don't know what happened. I was in a room. Crystals. Flashes. Power. Key broken.
It's okay. We'll fix this. With that, because I haven't had an action to use yet, I will use my action to channel divinity. And I believe for the next minute, where are they? God, this has all got so confusing. Where everything is. I'm going to watch as will. So for 1 minute, Dante now has advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. So that eye on the shield will glow. Ichi's eyes will glow. They will put their forehead against your head. And then just your eyes will kind of like subtly glow before it fades, and then that takes hold. And then that will be my turn.
Then Tenebrae just stands up and takes shackles off.
Honestly, the whole time I've been thinking if this was like another play.
If this was like, a ploy,
just like ground zero fireball. Like,
honestly, there's a part of me that's waiting for it. There is a part of me that is genuinely like, Tenebrae, you sadistic fuck.
But yeah,
Chris be like that?
Yes, Chris created the character.
Yeah. So, Eleni.
Is Ichi in the way of
Yes,
Dante?
now fully in the way of Dante. You would have seen them bend down and definitely affix something to the feet, and then they definitely put themselves in. I mean, the thing is, they have cover, like any person standing behind another person would have. So it's they're not impossible to hit.
She's not going to risk hitting Ichi. You would, however, hear like a scream of frustration and like a, what the fuck are you doing? I'm just going to keep running.
Okay. The dog keeps approaching Ichi, but will just sort of like curl up in a ball at your feet.
And by the way, the dog is a dog. It is a normal dog. It doesn't disappear. We have a dog now.
We got a dog. You know what? If anything good happened from this whole encounter with Dante, we got a dog.
You know what I like as well? Is it was summoned and its very first instruction was to like sit on Dante. So like it can just track him. Like whenever he fucking wanders off, you just like
this dog is now Dante's personal like tracker.
So it's more it's kinda like Dante got a dog, but it's just because it's not leaving you the fuck alone.
Yeah.
You mean absolutely fine with that. Ever?
Every time you try to walk away, it just starts barking.
To be fair, absolutely fine. I think Dante would appreciate just having a dog to kind of like.
You know, we're gonna have a dog that's on you 24/7. We're fitting you with a fucking bell.
No. We're keeping the manacles on. That's it now. They're permanently attached.
And we're fitting him with a fucking bell. Because if he missed these steps, the manacles mean nothing.
True. That is true.
Okay, after the dog, Dante, I'm gonna again. I don't want to. I'm just coming to you just in case, but I'm assuming we're basically out of initiative for yourself.
I'm out of initiative, and like I said, especially in this kind of state, Dante is. I'm assuming he's prone. Like
if you sunk down, I mean, yeah. So for you, but I assumed you did.
He's prone, and I'm just going to go with helpless again.
Okay.
So effectively, coup de grace could probably happen with somebody dead to it.
Okay, so
Not
Arthur
there yet.
continues. So, hey Lenny,
Yes.
you're the first to notice it, and it almost snaps you out of your rage for a moment. As Arthur is coming up, as he reaches you and passes you, you hear him again, almost that two-tone voice, growl at Ash, "We are leaving now," and almost trembling with it. And as he steps into almost like that 10-5 foot around you, it's like the temperature plummets. And again, you just hit in the center of that chest, of your chest, with that same feeling of the night you encountered outside of
Yeah.
Demetrius's place. That same feeling of fear that Ichi can summon upon is almost leaking out of him.
What's Ash's reaction to that?
Ash will look at, like, they look concerned, will look at you and then sort of, "My apologies, I think we need to seek some medical attention.
Understandable.
We will maybe contact you again."
I would say, are you safe? Are we safe? Because I know Volu's back up there.
They sort of I don't even think they shrug. They just sort of like move away, and we can break out of initiative again. So Ash will sort of keep up with Arta and Volu as you begin to pass. Again, that striking red and gold eye, exuding the energy of just get the fuck away. As they move up here and start grabbing Ash's things. You guys will be able to make your way the rest of the way down.
You muted, Paul.
The back of Eleni.
Yeah, you won't be able to make it down. I don't think the other two really are planning to move anywhere fast. What is now? So obviously, what happens as you get to the back of the dog is now just laid down.
As Eleni kind of like arrives, Ichi goes to stand, goes to turn to them, and then also buckles at 3 HP and just kind of brings a hand to their waist as they are heavily bleeding, and then just kind of slumps against the wall on the opposite side. So I'm understanding that Eleni is pissed and frustrated at Dante, but also themselves very weak, and is just hoping Eleni makes the right decision.
Eleni is going to walk up, put her bow in her opposite hand, push you out of the way with it, and she's going to punch Dante in the face. And then she's going to walk away and leave you to it.
How many damage points? I know it's 1 plus your strength mod.
Yeah, it's probably not a lot. It won't be much. But she's that pissed with you. And Ichi, to be fair, right now. But am I rolling to hit?
No, it's just 1 plus your strength mod.
Yeah, it's like 2 damage. It's like nothing.
But Dante collapses, isn't he?
Which way are you planning to go? Further down and pass towards the exit, or back towards?
Yeah, probably straight on, and down to the bottom of that corridor. But yeah, just literally punch Dante and then keep walking.
So I just suddenly thought, just as we're talking about, say, health points and stuff like that, Dante still had 56 points before that punch.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Fucking hell.
Eleni's up at 49. Eleni's absolutely
and
fine damage wise.
trust
You
me,
didn't walk through the fire, that's why.
Exactly,
if,
I'm not stupid.
if Arthur had hit you with one good divine smite, bro.
I know. Well, that's why, like I said to you like last week, I played to get like as many reasons ways for him to hard to hit me.
Okay. We are essentially out of initiative. Eleni moves towards the end of the corridor. Volu, are you staying with the group, or are you planning to?
Dante will look up as he sees Volu, and he's in floods of tears, and he's just looking at him, just like, "So sorry." But at the same time, he's also again relieved to see you moving. I tried to heal you. You didn't wake up. Arthur healed you. You didn't wake up. And then just breaks out again.
Don't worry, Dante. You'll be free soon. I'll then look to Ichi and go, I've asked for help. We need to do this. We need to separate him now.
They messaged me because they couldn't get through to you. It's the only reason I came this way. Otherwise, I was just going to be at that door waiting. Are you okay?
I've been knocked down before. But this time it was just... I have a lot to think about. And at that point, as he's saying that, he'll kind of just grip his dagger, feel, and kind of run his fingers over the etchings, make connection with the steel, look at his cloak that is now covered in blood and the leaves have started to wither away. He'll then look at Ichi and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Roll the healing amount.
Where's my D8? Just do it on there. 7 points of healing.
Thank you.
Did they say how long they would be?
They just needed to know exactly where we were. I think they're probably going to be waiting over where the tunnel is made, or at least starting to make their way through. And then Ichi's eyes will kind of like look over to where Sarata's walking away and kind of not physically seeing it, but just sensing that aura that's kind of like coming from them, and just kind of glares and stares and ponders. Something's going on with them. I don't know what, but it doesn't feel right.
You felt like when I first met you. I didn't before, but now I just want to be as far away from him as possible.
So do I. And that's odd for someone of my order. Ichi kind of like pushes himself to their feet. Something doesn't seem right about the way they've been trained. Seems like he focuses more about destroying rather than helping heal. Astera has always been a haven for anyone who needs it. Even when a being fell from the sky and brought magic to this world, yes, it brought chaos, but there were people here that still welcomed them. That's what my order's about. Protecting from dangers. Even if you come from the elemental plane or the Fey realm.
He has some form of infection or curse. He spoke as they. Something about people like me attacking somewhere and people giving up on them or something.
The order's broken.
Dante is very much is still. He's not looking up when he's talking. He's very much just small. He's very small.
The order's broken.
Is
They've obviously lost their way.
he had a different symbol to yours. It was similar but different. I think I can't remember.
Volu will put his hand on Ichi and say, just because someone trains you doesn't mean they deserve your trust.
He didn't train me. So he doesn't get my trust.
Just because someone says this is the way doesn't mean that they were right.
I'm aware. Nothing he says seems right.
I wasn't talking about him. And then I'll look at Dante and walk away.
And again, for you, are you going back up towards where, obviously, you know, the golem is still smashing things up and shit?
I am too weak to fight. I am heading to where the opening is to meet the other clerics.
Right, and any. What I will say, so obviously, because for players, it's been a bit longer, you were moving down that large tunnel for a good chunk of time. With descriptions given, they're probably going to be able to get to the crevasse pretty quick. But even with magic, you can't go somewhere you haven't seen.
Yeah.
So they're still potentially hour and a half away, as opposed to about to arrive. And you would know that. It just meant that they were definitely going to arrive at some point. But it does take a bit of time to amass some people and get them all down there. But you could head down that way to the opening after where you saw Eleni head.
The vault. Is it sealed?
We close the door.
Lock it. Or get someone down to lock it. Do not let it be.
Calm down. We'll deal with that when there are others here. We're all spent. Ichi will loosen the ankle manacles so that Dante has a movement speed of about 10 feet. And then we'll walk with them back towards the entrance and towards Volu and Eleni.
Okay. As you begin heading down that way, you'll be able to start heading out towards the exit. The dog does just sort of plod along.
So many rooms in here we didn't ever go into.
And we're not going to.
No. I actually just kind of feel sorry for Liam.
Maybe we'll come back this way later. Let's face it, we won't. This is this D&D
No,
party. We never return
not.
anywhere. We might come back.
Yeah, right.
Well, obviously, as you all start to collect at the entrance, Eleni, have you waited at
No.
the? Okay, let me have a quick look.
No, Eleni was walking at a pretty brisk pace, and wasn't
Okay.
stopping for anything.
Okay, so I think obviously Ichi, Dante, and Volu would sort of exit out the temple into the main tunnel section.
Has Serata actually gone?
Doesn't see many signs of them.
In this time, I had 1 potion of greater healing left, so I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll stop running D4. God's sake.
I would say probably as you look down and probably where Volu might have been stood and just sort of watching, you'd be able to see the figure of Eleni moving briskly down the tunnel.
How is the
Well-
tunnel affecting me, by the way?
In what sense, sorry?
I didn't know if I saved or not, but when I walked into
No,
this,
because you're being led, it's not and it's only like a little loopy section within the temple that does it to you. But yes, is what you want to. Obviously, you've closed the door, you haven't sealed it. I would say also though, for E.T.'s thinking, if it was Breach the whole time, he already knows how to open it now. But also, I would say you see no signs of Arthur having exited yet. What would the three of you like to do? You want to chase after Eleni?
can I just remind me, are rivals a thing in this? In
Yeah.
D&D?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but as in, is there an actual like
No,
there's
mechanic?
no like mechanic for it. No.
Not in the main rules. The
I don't think
Crit roll
Crit roll
heavily
did something.
in
did
story
they?
story aspects. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. For some reason, I thought there was something. I was going to say because Serata versus Dante Take 2 is definitely on the cards. That I feel like that would be a fucking epic fight.
There's
It
the whole
it
thing
might
with the rivals with Critical Role, because we played
never do.
Call of the Netherdeep. It's basically what they've introduced sort of in the new rules, which means that people get friendlier or less friendly towards you based on your actions, and that influences how they react to
Which is
you.
just obvious in
Yeah.
my opinion.
So it's
But
just the
obviously,
obvious stuff that
it's
we
nice
do anyway.
sometimes to have mechanics, but yeah, I do that just naturally, right? Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably not going to be very friendly the next time you see him.
I already have plans. Don't you worry, Chris.
Please don't like have this one like loose end that disappears.
That never happens to the important ones.
Bearing in mind, the Watchers are kind of part of Ichi's backstory.
It's not like a side quest that you've ran into this guy on a whim. It is like he is one of the lead knights in this area of the country.
Yeah, we'll come up to him again.
Okay, so slowly
deal
heading
with
after
that when we get
Eleni or dealing with the door now?
I don't think we're dealing with the door.
No,
Just heading
we'll
after Eleni.
head on out.
Okay, you begin to move down the tunnel. Volu, it's strange since you woke up again. There's almost an urge to have the feelings you were never really able to have, but also it's so long ago, and you've almost you literally just nearly died. And just as you sort of processing and walking, I'd say that you sort of zone out a little bit on the walk. Not
I
into
would be
pure vision, but just
I
into
would be reflecting on everything. Part of me almost wants to fall again just to find out the rest, find more clues. The rest of me is thinking what to do with Dante, what to do with the infection that's still there. I'll be tracing my finger now on my left arm, feeling where my friend struck me. I'd see my leaves. Anytime one would fall off, I'd pick it up and put it in my pocket. As he kind of lags behind in his daydream.
Okay. To be fair, not pushed for speed really, as Dante is limited with the chains.
Even limited, he's quicker than me.
Yeah. I think obviously shout out if there's anything that you would do over the time, but I think obviously Eleni will encounter the first signs of people first.
Before, as she's going down the tunnel, if she starts to see those people in the distance.
Yeah, say down the tunnel you can see torchlight and like two or three torches and the sounds of voices.
I'm gonna use my charge on my armor that I'd forgotten I had, and I'm gonna cast invisibility.
And just past them.
And I'm just gonna go past them.
Okay. In which case,
so they won't see me.
Yep, perfectly fine. In which case, Dante, Ichi, and Volu would be the first to encounter them as you see the lights ahead way before they see you. Before the voices call out, hold up a second over there. Who are you?
Ichi, Dante, and Volu.
You would hear High Priest Arcaner's voice. Oh, thank God. Come on, let's go. Does anybody need healing?
Yes, myself and Volu, very injured currently.
As you sort of get closer and the torchlight starts to illuminate this area of the cave, you would see that there's High Priest Arcaner, Brother Theo, and two other clerics that... no, sorry, Brother Theo is
Theo is not well.
No, he's not. Yeah. High Priest Arcaner and three other priests that sort of begin moving up and starting to help. You would also see a unit of maybe 10 of the guards that were stationed around. As they're getting closer, we say there are more back at the further back down the tunnel if you are still in danger, but we thought it best to fortify the exit and send in a few to see what we were dealing with. Are we still under attack? Do you still need forces?
Forces, no. But we do need individuals to scout out this location. There's a large power cell within a room that needs to be relocked. And a lot of corruption down here. Tell anyone who enters to be careful and cautious. We don't know where it's coming from or what caused it yet. But all that we know is anything it touches becomes infected and corrupted and cursed.
Okay.
Whatever happened to the people in the mines is happening here.
That's worrying. Although I'm not an expert, but I don't know how far we are from any sort of connecting rivers or water.
Perhaps a further exploration is required to find out where.
Remind me, but they don't have anything way to fight the corruption, do they?
No.
They don't know what.
They would more just sort of stand and say, for now, let's get you back. Let's make this place off limits until we are prepared to return.
There is a guardian within there as well, a large construct, a golem. It protects.
The golem from the race?
Yes, although last we saw it, its corruption was no longer there, but go with caution. If you pose it no threat, it shouldn't attack you. If it is corrupted, then it will.
How can we signify the corruption? Is it the same as on ourselves?
There is a purple ichor that seems to find its way to it. It should radiate some kind of purple light, as well as being covered in, yes, like a purpley black sludge.
Like I said, for now, let's get you guys back. Each of you.
Did a Lenny pass?
I did not see Eleni. Ichi, you get 14 hit points. Volu, you get 12. Dante, you get 12. As the three that have come with just start healing, and High Priest Dark and I will sort of look back, and we did not see them pass. I can send them a message if you want to make sure they got out.
Should be okay. We'll find them.
Okay. And they will sort of lead you up, and not necessarily like taking any of the charge off you, as you know, they sort of, you're offered somebody to lean on. Somebody will sort of take any backpacks or any sort of things that you don't necessarily need to be carrying right now. And you would be able to make your way back down. When you arrive to the exit of the tunnel, it has been it's in the beginnings of being fortified. They're basically putting up sort of palisades towards the hole. There's maybe about 20 more guards in the vicinity moving around, prepping stuff. You can see two captains that are sort of discussing around the table. That they were there before, obviously, but they're now sort of mobilized. And as you sort of begin to exit, one of them will approach and say, "So, any signs of this threat still? Do we need to close up the tunnel?" And Hypersonic will say, "Yes, we think there is maybe some infection down there still. We should be cautious. We need to scout it out, but I think for now, let's proceed with caution and maybe see if the school has any wizards that can help us with looking at things from a distance." I would say for you guys, Dante and Ichi, you saw the sigils that sort of gave you the impression it was protected from divination magics. But they for now, they will look with a little bit of concern towards Dante, who is
I was wondering when they were. I was just like,
well, they're all caught up in everything and talking to Ichi, and you all sort of like, you know, sullen and stuff behind, and it's only when you start to move that there's like a and they're like
I did mention Dante, so
but even from the other guards that don't know necessarily that but yeah, so I think High Priest Arkana would sort of fall to the back a little bit towards Volu. And are you well? Is everything okay?
May or two.
To Volu.
Dante is sick and needs healing. We were going to try it one way, but I fear that may cause more pain. I think we need your help.
They were sort of course, but let's not talk here. We are quite far from the city. They will then sort of say louder, we have horses. There is also, to be fair, I think your vehicle is over there.
We just don't have our driver right now.
I mean,
she knows how to drive it.
I mean, I can still drive. Like manacles can still do that.
What time is it, Liam? Because wasn't it tea time-ish when we met them? So it's probably really late, isn't it?
It's we're talking
Dark.
11, half 11. You can see. I'd say that obviously you've been able to move out invisibly. Taking a look around, you would have seen that just around the camp, there is horses, and almost you can see that they've brought extras as there's like horses tied to each other to like sort of lead. Or you can, to be fair, like it's not so for a Lenny who is good at survival, it is not a short trek. It's it's an hour and a half, maybe 2 even, but it's an easy trek. There is nothing.
I don't think she'd steal the horse. I think actually she'd want that time to really work out what her next steps are, and to cool down, and have that time to think. So I think she would just slip into the darkness and make that trek.
Okay. No worries. Are the rest of you happy to they would even offer for one of the guards to drive for you. And we will also return to the city with you. I will leave. They would still say if you could, 2 of the clerics to stay and help the guards in case anything further comes out. But also, one of the guard captains was that you went in with Sir Arthur as well. Did they stay behind?
They should still be back there. I'm not sure which way they went.
We will keep an eye out for them. They would sort of tell a runner to sort of tell the people at the sort of front of the barricade to be expecting 2 more people. And then, if you want to get on your ride and head back, would you, as you're sort of riding High Priest Arcanair on a horse just next to, because I assume you're not like blistering through the desert at this point.
Yeah.
High Priest Arcanair and a few of the other clerics sort of keeping pace on a horse. As they would say, would you like to head straight home, or do you want to come up to the temple? We can look over your wounds further.
Ichi looks to Dante.
And they're almost sort of looking to Volu in there. Obviously, you've asked for help, but for Volu, this is very, like Doctor Priest tactics. It's like they're trying to offer and not say like, you should come and tell me everything that's going on. They're just sort of like, you want to come to the temple for some healing or some tea, maybe?
I'll look over to Ichi. It sounds like a good idea, but I think we need to decide on this together.
I agree as well. It's probably a good idea. Lenny wants, but looks at the time to cool down. It's safer in numbers at the moment, so I think if we go to the temple, the more eyes we have on Dante, the better.
I agree. Could you let Eleni know that we're going to the temple, High Priestess?
I can send them a sending. They will sort of go quiet. Almost again, there's that level of, as much as they do trust the guard and everything, there is still in the city in general that tension of there is a power shift happening. and obviously the exchange of hands tomorrow, that guard might not be your friend if they are opposed to your ideals, or if the new power is opposed to your ideals. So they go quiet. They will send Eleni a message saying, Eleni, hi, it is our High Priest Arcaner. We are heading up to the temple to check over Volu, Dante, and Ichi's wounds. If you wish to join us, we can provide some healing or food and rest.
I think it cut off with provide some.
Yeah, probably.
Roughly.
Thank you for letting me know.
Okay. You will be able to make your way back, and almost there's that strange, surreal mix of being out in the desert in the middle of the night. It is beautiful. The skies are clear. You can see all the stars above, and it's quiet and cool. You make your way up through the city, and this time nobody's around. Eventually making your way up to the temple. I think High Priest Arcaner would sort of get down from the horse and say to the guard, you can leave their vehicle there. Please take my horse to go return to your duties. Brothers, I dismiss you for the night, and why don't you come with me? I have some food prepared.
Kind of food.
I love him.
They will sort of take you through
It's
and
like on
through
your
into that
deathbed,
back room.
but there's food.
Eyes closed, one eye opens. Food?
That's what I should have said earlier. Just after I healed him, I'd be like, I have a sandwich.
That's 3 successful death saves.
Nat 20, 1 point.
So they will actually sort of take you through and back into the room that you know as their office, and they will say there is some small provisions there, but if you don't mind me taking a moment, I will just cast a spell, and they would cast Hero's Feast.
Lovely.
So you all will not only heal 12 points, but it also puts your hit point maximum up. But to be honest, whether you want to change that on your character, I'll just remember it for now, as you're probably going to rest.
When you say increase the maximum by how much?
12.
By 12.
You heal 12, and you also increase your hit point maximum by 12.
They'd already healed me to max, so.
So it'll push you up over. You are also cured of all diseases, poisons. You become immune to being poisoned or frightened, and all your wisdom saving throws are at advantage for 24 hours. So.
Oh yeah.
It's good. Hero's Feast is nice.
Damn it.
I don't even know how long it lasts either.
It's a long rest.
It's an hour,
Yeah.
Now, I will not force you to discuss what is going on, but in his message, Volu did mention something about Dante, and now he is in chains.
Dante is currently cursed to be the physical form of a prison to a higher entity. A dangerous elemental known as an Ifrit. He has been such for a few hundred years, and it was the job of myself and my mentor to find and hopefully release him from this curse. I have had no such luck in finding a release for that such as yet. All I know is that Dante is a good person who does not want to be this prison. He's fighting against it, but sometimes that fight loses, and this being takes control. When that happens, dangerous things happen. Unfortunately, for many of you, if Dante's life is to end, that just releases whatever is trapped within. It doesn't stop that thing. And I refuse to just stand by and let Dante's life be cut short because of the fear of other individuals.
Can I assume the fire that helps him do what he does?
I believe so.
Did she know?
She doesn't know directly you,
She
but
kno-
your group brought somebody back cured.
I said
And-
somebody in our group had an ability.
Yeah,
that would
I knew there was a
make it.
somebody. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay, cool.
But the fact that the whole group has been being very secretive about this is they're just sort of asking the question.
Yeah.
Is that the same? Are they the?
Yes, that elemental fire is what has helped burn away this corruption. Dante has been able to harness some of that elemental ability and use it for beneficial purposes. But the being within is still a threat.
Whenever the being inside, I don't know whether we should tell you his name or not, takes control, they mention that they've seen the infection before and there was only one way to clear it. But the way that he wants to solve it is by burning this place to the ground.
Apparently the infection claimed his home before.
Maybe,
so he wants to recreate his home.
Maybe the visions you saw, Volu.
It isn't that.
What was that?
Some of that is true, but I think some I know bits. The fire plane is still there, as we know.
Yes.
It's not about making a new home. It's something about removing removing themselves from. They want to cut away from this plane. The material plane has some cause or thing. I know there was a plan between other races. The Ifrit, the city of Brass. They were the ones that knew how to purge or burn through.
As you're speaking, they don't speak, but they do head over to a shelf and pull down a book and just start sort of thumbing through it.
I don't know. I know it isn't just them, but I don't know who else, and I don't know if it's still an issue. But it's not about making a new home. It's about freeing theirs and cutting themselves out of the issue. That is all I know. Or I think I know. I can't be sure. This whole time, Dante is still just looking down. Doesn't look up for anything.
Again, they're just sort of silently stood in the corner of the room, sort of reading and looking.
And Dante will just go, "Oh, and I don't know what was in that vault. Don't know its purpose or why he wanted it. But I have never felt such a strength of wanting something from him in all the years. That is something he has been looking for."
After a moment, she'll come back to the desk and sort of place a book down. I do not think I have the power or knowledge to free Dante. I had a thought about how you might get some answers, but it is risky. If you say you have the being's name,
We do.
if we were to make the proper preparations and place Dante in a magic circle, we could summon him.
Dante looks up, scared, like genuinely terrified at that idea.
It is risky, I know, but if I successfully cast the spell, it must obey my verbal commands. That includes telling them to release control of you once we are done speaking to them.
The control isn't willing. It's trapped. It doesn't want Dante. Dante is lessening it. Dante is a prison. It's not a parasite.
I now know the spells that can force a creature to.
Don't let him out. Please, don't let him out.
I'll look at High Priestess Arcaneer and I'll use my telepathy to say, if we need to remove him from Dante, I am willing to do that. The rest of the party don't know this, but if it means separating them and then rushing to Dante, it's something I'm prepared to do. And as I'm looking at her saying that, I'll have a sly glance towards Dante and see if he reacts in any way.
Inside perception so bad, does not notice a thing. I pretty much, or unless there's a particular reason, he almost automatically fails in my mind with his wisdom.
Yeah. Have you any other leads on how to deal with the creature?
We have another contact who could possibly strengthen the binding, making it so Dante is in control permanently.
Release the essence into the weapon.
These elemental beings can be bound to objects as well, using that as a tool to help spread the burden so that it's not all on Dante. Also would help separate essence of the being, weakening them. Part in the sword, part in Dante. It saves putting all the stress on one entity, on one being, on one object. Because this thing is strong.
It does make sense, but you must be very careful who you discuss that with. Soul binding, even of evil creatures, is highly illegal. You will be imprisoned for a long time if they find out, regardless of your story. And I would not care to think about who it is that might do that for you. But if it is the only way, maybe it is the only way. Astera does not care for the ethical dilemmas of mortals. They'll sort of sink back into the chair and rest their head back. I wish I had more. I will have a look at, see if there is anything. There are items we know of that can trap beings, but they are old and ancient and often would not distinguish between Dante and Tenebris. Or the creature, sorry. They don't know the name. But they... I do not know of any that would allow us to separate them.
I'd have honestly
Maybe.
loved it. She said Tenebris, because my immediate thing would have been like, the fuck?
How does she
Yeah,
know?
that might would have been like draw sword.
No, that's why I was being very clear. That's why I was being very clear. She doesn't know.
Yeah, no.
She would have
Yeah.
Especially when they were like,
said
yeah, we could just separate them now. It's like,
Mm.
are you fucking working with them?
I just summoned him. but but no, yes, maybe once you have done what you needed to do, maybe then we can do something on the object that can help separate them further.
You would then become complicit in what we've done, though.
Not if I don't know what you've done, I suppose, or how you did it, or when you did it. As I said, Astera cares not for the ethical dilemmas of mortals, only the preservation of our life itself. Many clerics at times have had to break the law when it was illegal to raise our churches. As in this very city, you see many small shrines dotted around the city. That was once necessity and illegal. Astera works in many ways. If you wish to rest here, I did tell Eleni, she did respond, though I do not know if she will return tonight.
Yes, that would be preferred.
We can,
again, safety in numbers right now.
If you are willing to wait a short while, we can prepare a room that is magically reinforced.
That would be good. Thank you.
No one can hear your noises.
I mean, if you remember, they do already have set up a iron magic circle for the goo creatures.
Yeah, they do. They've got
They have
that whole warded room, haven't they?
Yeah, they have the case. So if you're willing to basically wait for them to separate off some space and ward off maybe another room.
Dante wouldn't care even if he went into that iron cell, as it was.
And then they would leave you to finish eating. As they leave, they will sort of say, if you need anything, just knock. My room is just at the end of the hall. And as they head out, they will send a message to Eleni and just say, if you do decide to join us, feel free to knock. My room is just at the end of the corridor. We can talk.
I wouldn't reply, but I'm imagining she'd know that the message landed. She'd know if it hadn't reached
Yeah,
her.
they just go to
So,
bed and continue on with
yeah.
their routine. And I will flick over to Eleni. What have you been doing? You've obviously been walking through the desert, heading back towards the city.
Yeah. Eleni is angry at a number of different things right now. She's really angry at Dante. She's angry at Ichi. She's actually really angry at herself. She feels like she's let her guard down after all this time of being really paranoid and being really careful. She told Dante about her family, so now does that mean Tenebrese knows about her family? She's even more worried that Tenebrese was apparently in control for so long and that none of us saw it. That's just making her question lots and lots of things that have happened over the last few days. And she just keeps coming back round to Volu could have died. Volu could have died. So her immediate thought was, I'm done. I'm out of this. Why am I being distracted by these people and this creature and this stuff that actually has nothing to do with me and nothing to do with my goals and my aims? Really loves Volu, but he's choosing Ichi and Dante right now. And that's his choice to make. He's an adult, not a child. So the couple of hours walking back through the desert, by the time she gets to the outskirts of the city, she's probably a lot calmer than she was when she set off, and the invisibility would have gone. I was trying to work out if there would be stuff back at the safe house of hers, but I think she probably carries most of her stuff with her.
Yeah, you probably have a lot of it on you.
So she would make her way to the temple, but would be trying to get in and get to Arcane's rooms without being seen, without being spotted. She doesn't really want to run into anyone else.
Yeah, that's fine.
But would probably only knock if it looked like there was a light on, Liam. It's that sort of, if it's like 3 in the morning and it's, because it's probably going to be early hours, isn't it? By the time she's reaching there. So I suppose, yeah, I mean, does it look like there's any sign of Arcane being awake in there?
So I'd say you'd be able to see the candlelight flickering, but you also can hear a soft snoring, if that makes it both. But also, they are. Could you imagine they were sleeping when Volu messaged them?
Yeah.
It was 11 p.m. when Volu threw out, "Come to the crevasse and help."
Is the door open? Unlocked?
Yeah.
I will push the door open, slip into the room, and close the door behind me.
I think as the door softly clicked shut, the snoring was all just softened, and almost without opening their eyes, you made it back okay.
I think so. Are they
You
all
injured
here?
at all? Yes, they were all set up. Yeah, I assume for the rest of you, because it will have been, it's still hours after you guys have been here, but it took Eleni to get here as well, as you travelled by vehicle and horse and such. So the broom would be prepared and you would be able to go into it. It's been prepared all, basically they've done a room with 3 beds. It's probably 4 beds, it's probably bunk beds to be honest, because they're assuming. And they've set up a small but permanented iron magic circle at the door of the like the threshold. If you imagine it's like half semicircle either side of the doorway.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, they are here. Are you injured at all?
Hardly. A sleep will fix
Would
any
you like any
injuries
food?
that I have. I was lucky.
Food, water.
Water would be welcome. Thank you.
It's fairly will again cast out. Maybe not. So they're looking at the use of oh no, this might be worth it.
If she's got a jug of something,
they will
lying
create food and
around.
water.
Yeah.
And do something a bit more simple. But create you some food, and I think as Eleni and Arthana begin to maybe chat into the night, that is where we will end this week's session. Thank you very much for playing. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying the adventures and want to know what's going to be happening next time, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when the videos are going to come out. And as always, roll well. Bye.